everyone, welcome to the second part of the prose Bipin Chaudhary's Loss of Memory by Satyajit Ray. In this video, I'll read and explain the second part of the story line by line along with difficult words and their meanings. Finally, we will analyze the major themes of the story and the message. If you haven't watched part 1, click on the link in the description box or in the top right corner of this video. So let's begin. In the first part, we read about Mr. Bipin Chaudhary who encounters a strange man in a bookshop who reminds him of his trip to Ranchi. But Mr. Bipin does not remember anything at all. This man also tells him a great number of details from the trip which makes him even more confused. Finally, when his friend Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee confirms that he had actually gone on the trip with Mr. Bipin, he loses his mind and becomes totally frustrated. Now let's start reading the second portion of the story. After lunchtime, Bipin Babu realized that he couldn't possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in the 25 years he had been with the firm. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. So after talking to his friend Dinesh Mukherjee, Mr. Bipin Babu got totally confused because his friend told him that he had gone on a trip to Ranchi with him and he doesn't remember anything at all. His head was spinning. Whirl means to revolve or to rotate. So his head was spinning. He just could not concentrate on his work anymore. He had worked in this firm. Firm means company. He had worked in this company for 25 years. Conscientious means thorough and careful. So Mr. Bipin was known as a careful, a thorough employee who never got tired. He was a tireless employee. But today it was different because he was very confused. His head was swimming. It was different. And this was the first time that he was feeling this way. He did not want to work at all. Back home at 2:30, Bipin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he didn't know of a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things, and not to remember was something utterly impossible. So Bipin Babu returned back home because he just could not concentrate in the office. He came back home at 2:30 in the afternoon. Till now, he had refused to believe that he had visited Ranchi, but now that his friend had confirmed, he has slowly started to believe that he might have visited there after all, and he's not trying to think how it was possible to lose one's memory. He's thinking of reasons such as head injury which causes loss of memory, but he's still not convinced that one could forget such an important event in one's life. At 7:30, Bipin Babu's servant came and announced, "Chunni Babu sir says it's very important." Bipin Babu knew what Chunni had come for. Chunnilal had been at school with him. He'd been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about a job. Bipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him and in fact told him so. But Chunni kept turning up like a bad penny. So it's been 5 hours since Bipin Chaudhary is home. He is lying in his bed and doing nothing. Suddenly, a servant arrives and tells him that Chunni Babu, a very old friend from school, had come to visit him. Bipin Babu knew that Chunnilal had come to ask for a job because he had been going through a hard time financially. He had no money, he had no job, and he wanted a job. He had already told Chunnilal that he could not help him, but he kept on coming back like a bad penny. Like a bad penny means to appear at unwanted places. So Chunnilal kept on coming back again and again, even when Bipin Babu had already refused to help him. Bipin Babu sent word that not only was it not possible for him to see Chunni now, but not in several weeks. But as soon as the servant stepped out of the room, it struck Bipin that Chunni might remember something about the 58th trip. There was no harm in asking him. Bipin Babu hurried down the stairs into the living room. Chunni was about to leave, but seeing Bipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. So Bipin Babu is clearly in no mood to help Chunnilal at all, to help him get a job. So he asked his servant to send him away and say that Mr. Bipin would not be able to meet him for several weeks. But as soon as the servant turns to go and talk to Mr. Chunnilal, Mr. Bipin gets an idea. He thinks of confirming about his Ranchi trip with him. He thinks that if he had gone to Ranchi, this person might know something about it. So you see how Bipin Chaudhary is still trying to confirm if he actually went on that trip or not. When one of his friends, very close friends, Dinesh Mukherjee, had already told him that they had in fact gone to Ranchi, but he's still trying to confirm it with different people. Bipin Babu didn't beat about the bush. Listen, Chunni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory and you've been seeing me off and on for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? Chunni said, 58? It must have been 58, or was it 59? Beat around the bush means to avoid the main topic. So Bipin Babu came straight to the point. He did not beat around the bush and asked Chunnilal a direct question about his Ranchi trip. Mr. Chunnilal says yes, he had gone on that trip, but he's a little confused about the year of the visit. He's confused between 58 or 59, but he's sure that he had actually gone on that trip. So now two of Mr. Bipin Babu's friends have confirmed that he had actually gone on that trip. You're sure that I did go to Ranchi? Chunni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. Do you mean you have doubts about having gone at all? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? So we see how Bipin Babu is repeating the same question. Did I go? Do you remember? Are you sure? He's repeating these questions because he's unable to believe that he had actually gone and he had forgotten about the whole incident. That's why he is asking these things in different ways. Chunnilal is amazed, he is totally surprised, and he's also worried at the same time. So he asks Mr. Bipin if he had doubts about having gone to Ranchi, and he also tells him that he actually went and is confused as to why Mr. Bipin is doubtful about the trip at all. Chunni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bipin Babu with a long hard stare and said, Bipin, have you taken to drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendships don't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. You can't really mean that you've forgotten about the Ranchi trip. So now Chunnilal is worried about Bipin Babu. He sits Bipin Babu down and he's staring at him in a hard stare. Hard stare means he's looking at him in a strict manner. So he asks him if he had started doing drugs which have made him so forgetful. And he also says that it is unbelievable that Mr. Bipin has completely forgotten about the trip because he used to have such a good memory. Bipin Babu had to turn away from Chunni's incredulous stare. Do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunnilal. Of course, you worked in a travel agency. You remember that, and you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi. I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you? You don't look too well, you know. Bipin Babu sighed and shook his head. I've been working too hard, he said at last. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Doubtless it was Bipin's condition which made Chunnilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. So incredulous means unable to believe. So Chunnilal was staring at Bipin Babu in a disbelieving manner, in an incredulous manner. He is just not able to believe that Bipin Babu has completely forgotten about the trip. This makes Mr. Bipin Babu uncomfortable. He asks him if he remembers that his last job was in a travel agency. So Mr. Chunnilal used to work in a travel agency. Bipin Babu remembers it. But Chunnilal also tells him that it was him who he booked the tickets and he came to see him off. See off means to say goodbye when you're going somewhere. He also reminds Bipin of some other details about arranging for an electrician to fix the fan in his compartment. But Bipin Chaudhary doesn't remember anything at all. He just remembers that he had been a travel agent. Finally, he just makes an excuse of working too hard in the office. He tells Mr. Chunnilal that he might be working too hard and that's the reason why he has forgotten everything. They finally agree that Mr. Bipin should consult a specialist, a doctor, for his lost memory. And Chunnilal leaves without even asking about his job to Mr. Bipin Chaudhary. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately, you must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it's affecting my work. Dr. Chanda shook his head. You know what, Mr. Chaudhary? I've never had to deal with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience, but I have one suggestion. I don't know if it'll work, but it's worth a try. It can do no harm. So Mr. Bipin Babu finally went to see Paresh Chanda, a doctor, a specialist. Mr. Bipin Babu desperately requests him to cure. Cure means to treat. So he requests Dr. Chanda to cure his disease, but Dr. Chanda tells him that this was the very first time that he had heard of such a case, and it was outside of his expertise, outside of his experience. But instead of any medicines or anything else, he gives Mr. Bipin a suggestion, and he says that it might not work, but it's worth a try. It will do no harm. Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. As far as I can make out, said Dr. Chanda, and I think you're of the same opinion, you must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, the entire episode had slipped out of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that, I cannot do at the moment. I'm prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential, or the symptoms will get more pronounced. So, anxiously means worriedly, and leaned forward means bent forward. So, Bipin Babu bent forward worriedly to listen to the doctor's suggestion, and he advises Bipin Babu that it seemed that he had gone to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, he had totally forgotten about it. So he advises Chaudhary to visit Ranchi again, because he thinks that visiting the same place again might help him remember everything. And he also prescribes a nerve tonic. Tonic means a medicinal syrup, and a tranquilizer. A tranquilizer is a medicine that helps you calm down during anxiety. So the doctor gives him some medicines, asks him to take a good night's sleep for his worry and anxiety, and he says that you should visit Ranchi again. That might help you remember everything. Bipin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instructions, and then procured a first class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. So the medicine seemed to work, and Bipin Babu feels better the next day. And finally, he is going to visit Ranchi. He calls his office and procures. Procure means to acquire or to get. So he procures a ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. So this was the third part of the story. Let's start reading the fourth part. Getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. He came out of the station, took a taxi, and drove around the town for a while. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Morabadi Hill, with none of these had he the slightest acquaintance. Would a trip to Hudru Falls help? He didn't believe so, but at the same time, he didn't wish to leave with the feeling that he hadn't tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Hudru in the afternoon. So Bipin Babu finally gets off the train at Ranchi. He is finally visiting Ranchi, and at once means immediately. He immediately realizes that he has never seen this place before. This is the first time that he is coming here. Acquaintance means to know. Bipin Babu doesn't even have a little bit, even the slightest acquaintance of the buildings, hotels, roads, or anything there. Everything seemed new to him, and he knows that visiting Hudru Falls will not help, but he still decided to visit it because he just did not want to leave without trying out every option of getting his memory back. So he left for Hudru Falls in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudru, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, "I am finished. There's no hope left." So next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything. His will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Was he going to end up in the asylum at... Bipin Babu couldn't think anymore. So in Hudru Falls, Bipin Babu somehow became unconscious. He fainted around a boulder. Boulder means a huge stone. So he fainted. People who had come there for picnic found him lying there unconscious. When Bipin Babu woke up, when he came around, came around means woke up. When he came around, he became even sadder. And the first thing that he said was that he's finished and there is no hope left for him. He thought that just like his memory, he is going to lose his job, his confidence, and everything important in life. He's also scared that he might have to go to an asylum. Asylum means a hospital which is meant for treating mentally disturbed patients. And he believes that he's slowly losing the control over his mind and there is no hope left for him. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chanda and asked him to come over. Then, after a shower, he got into bed with an ice pack clammed on his head. Just then, the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box. A green envelope with his name in red ink on it. Above the name, it said urgent and confidential. In spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. This is what he read. So Bipin Babu came back and called his doctor and asked him to come visit him. He was lying down in his bed with an ice bag on his head because he was not feeling really well. Suddenly, his servant brings a letter with his name on it. He pays attention to the words urgent and confidential on it and decides to read it. Let's find out who had written this confidential, this secret letter, this urgent letter to him, and see what's inside the letter. Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you'll be alright again now. A novel I've written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it'll see me through the next few months. Yours, Chunilal. So, affluence means wealth. This letter was written by Mr. Chunilal and he had written in a very disapproving, very angry tone. He says that he had never thought that wealth or money would completely change Bipin Babu. And he says that he had no money and he never thought that Bipin Babu would refuse to help an old friend like him in his bad time. Retribution means punishment and unfeeling means cruel or emotionless. So Mr. Chunilal says that he had no money but he had an imagination which he used to punish Mr. Bipin for his emotionless behavior towards him. So basically Mr. Chunilal admits that all that is happening to Mr. Bipin Babu for the last couple of days was a prank. It was a practical joke meant to punish him because he had refused to help a friend in need. Finally, he ends the letter by saying that he has written a novel which is being published now and he hopes to earn enough money for the next several months from it. When Dr. Chanda came, Bipin Babu said, I'm fine. It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi. A unique case, said Dr. Chanda. I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal. The reason why I sent for you is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller. So after reading the letter, Bipin Babu realizes that his friend Chunilal had pranked him and he had punished him for not helping him out during his bad time. So to save his face, he tells Dr. Chanda that he had remembered everything as soon as he got off the train in Ranchi. He is very embarrassed by the fact that his friend had actually pranked him. Dr. Chanda tells him that it was a unique, a very different case and that he would write about it in a medical journal. And finally, Bipin Babu asks him to prescribe a medicine for the pain in his hip due to his fall in the Hudru Falls in Ranchi. So that's how the story ends. Let's move on to the analysis of the story now. First, we'll discuss the elements of the story, the major elements of the story, and we'll analyze the story accordingly. So, the first element is setting. The setting of this story is Calcutta in Bengal, and the year is 1965. It's set in very old days. The second element is characters. So these are the names of the main characters of the story. The first one is Bipin Chaudhary. He is a middle-aged man who is a very hard-working person. He works in an office, but he's a little selfish because he refuses to help his friend. The other one is Dinesh Mukherjee, who is one of his very good friends. The third one is Parimal Ghosh. He is that stranger who he meets in the bookshop. The fourth character is Chunilal. This is the friend who is in need of help. He has no job, no money, and he comes to Bipin Babu to ask for help, but he refuses to help him, and that is why he punishes Mr. Bipin Chaudhary. And the last character is Dr. Chanda, who is a specialist and who Bipin Babu goes to get his memory back. So these were the main characters in the story. The third element and one of the most important elements is the plot. The plot is a storyline. So Bipin Babu meets Parimal Ghosh in a bookshop and he talks of his Ranchi trip, but Mr. Chaudhary does not remember anything at all. All his friends remember it. He talks to two of his friends and both of them remember it. Finally, he visits a doctor who advises him to visit Ranchi again. But when he visits, he still has no memory of his previous visit. His friend Chunilal then writes a letter to him telling him about the prank and telling him that it was a punishment for not helping him in his bad times. The next element is conflict. Conflict is the major problem between the characters or in the character's mind. So the main conflict here is Bipin Chaudhary's Ranchi trip, because he is confused whether he had gone on the trip or not. So the main conflict is that, and his loss of memory about it. So his Ranchi trip and his loss of memory is the main conflict in the story. That's the problem that the story revolves around. The next element is style. So the narration is very informal, it's not very formal, and there's a mysterious element. The storyteller keeps the reader hooked from starting till the end. You don't know what is the real reason behind Bipin Chaudhary's loss of memory, and we are not even able to guess. But finally, when the reveal happens, it's very humorous, it's very funny. So let's discuss the tone. Of course, it is humorous because in the end we have a good laugh because Bipin Chaudhary is fooled by his own friend. The next element is the theme. The main theme is friendship. Friendship is important because one should always be there for their friends in difficult times. If you're not there for your friend, if you choose to be selfish, then you're not a good friend, because selfishness is the enemy of any friendship. Chunilal also remarks once, and he tells Mr. Bipin Chaudhary that old friendships don't mean much to you, but I remember that you had a good memory. So he secretly tells Bipin Babu that he has not been a good friend to him. Let's discuss the message of the story now. The message of the story is, as you sow, so shall you reap. It means that tit for tat, whatever you do, you'll get it back. Bipin Chaudhary refuses to help his friend in his time of need when he really needed job and money. This makes his friend angry and he decides to play a practical joke on him. So in the end, Bipin Chaudhary gets what he deserves. In other words, he reaps what he sows. He gets what he deserves. Thank you so much for watching.